ZzzQuil Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Okay, Texas, pop quiz. True or false? Walmart has more than 500 million items online. True. Find a huge selection online that you can't find in stores. True or false? Groceries always cost more when they're delivered. False. Walmart's grocery prices are the same for delivery as they are in store. Last one. Walmart can deliver in as fast as an hour. True, y'all. Use express delivery to get eligible items to your doorstep before the pool party starts. Walmart. Who knew? Subject to availability. Fees and restrictions apply.
Wind Down Wednesday is merging with tailgate season on October 1st at Cane and Abel's. Whether you're winding down midweek or gearing up for kickoff, Stella Rosa Wines is the perfect refreshed, semi-sweet, semi-sparkling, and full of flavor. Stella Rosa Black, Peach, or Red. You can't lose. My go-to is Stella Rosa Red. It always scores. And during happy hour, we're giving away huge tickets to ACL, which is sold out, and a plus A-level show. Whether you celebrate along Stella Rosa Wines, don't miss out.
iHeart presents
Police coming straight from the underground.
Ice Cube, bringing truth to power.
You know how we do.
Featuring 4 decades of attitude, a musical production like he's never done before. Taking the stage at Moody Center, October 16th. Ice Cube, Truth to Power Tour, 4 decades of attitude.
We go hip hop. Homies got shot.
Get tickets now at livenation.com.
At Skechers, comfort is a technology. That's right. You don't just make a shoe and hope it comes uncomfortable. It takes research, innovations, compounds, engineering, and so much more to feel so comfortable you'd swear you're wearing pillows on your feet. We have features like Skechers Air-Cooled Memory Foam and fits like Relax Fit, Stretch Fit, Wide Fit, Arch Fit, and so many more to make the shoe feel like it was custom-made just for your foot. Plus, we have hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology. Just step in and go. Find yours at a Skechers store at Skechers.com or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, an air quality alert day for your Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 93. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 65. Wednesday, sunny skies, a high of 96.
This report is sponsored by the Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be a part of a legacy that never stops. Be there when history is made. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Fall is sports season, and iHeartRadio has it all. The NFL.
Touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
MLB playoffs.
It is gone.
College football, the NHL, and NBA preseason moves are underway. From scores and reactions to interviews and hot takes, it's all at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app.
Appreciate you taking my call, guys.
Lock in with your favorite teams with play-by-play, podcasts, and local stations where you can react and join the conversation. Sports on iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
AM 1300 The Zone. Your television. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Go! Check them out.
FS1.
Check them out.
FS1.
Two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio. Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox with you here. Coming up a little over 10 minutes from now. If one team would have listened to a member of this show, there'd be a much better chance they'd win a game this weekend in the NFL. We'll get into that for you here coming up a little over 10 minutes from now. By the way, this show is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And right now, use the promo code 2PROS to claim your special offer at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code 2PROS at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Speaking of DraftKings, just taking a gander here to take a look at just current Super Bowl odds. Like if you were to go to DraftKings and just let's take a look at some Super Bowl odds, just trying to see how far down the list the Ravens have fallen. 10-1. The Baltimore Ravens are currently sitting at 10-1 with the Bills the favorite. Bring up the Ravens because more bad news for them. We still aren't totally clear on Lamar Jackson's status, whether or not he's going to be able to go. We do know that Nnamdi Madubuike is out for the season with a neck issue and maybe even longer than that. There's some thought that might be career-threatening. Roquan Smith is going to miss some time. it's just not great all the way around for Baltimore. And so for those of you that did have the Ravens going to the Super Bowl before the year, that's looking like not a great picture.
Weren't you one of them?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. And the tough part is, like, people have to realize, like, injuries play a huge role in all this, and you have to get lucky. Like, if your team to win a Super Bowl has to get lucky. And that's not taking anything away from what they accomplished or what Philly accomplished last year, for example. It's just the reality of it. Most rosters aren't built to withstand so many injuries to be able to overcome that. Philly might be the exception, but still, staying healthy and being able to avoid any of that is a huge piece of being able to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So not great for the Ravens, but what's great for you is that we got another hour to play with here on FSR.
We are Sports.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox, and this isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour celebrate 100 years of high-flying dunks, 100 years of show-stopping moves, and 100 years of changing the game. This game is once in a century. Be there. Bring the whole family and be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour, coming to a city near you. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com. That's harlemglobetrotters.com.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at depend.com.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Seeing some huge backups this morning trying to get into town on I-35 southbound. Reports of a crash at McNeil Road have about 30 to 40-minute backup behind it and delays start from FM 1431. The opposite direction of I-35 northbound, an early morning crash on the service road of William Cannon Drive has all lanes closed down. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Dr. Laurie Santos here. I'm proud to support iHeart Recovery Month and Mobilize Recovery to help elevate and normalize conversations we should all be having about addiction and mental health conditions, because those conditions affect all of us. Whether you're struggling yourself or have a family member or friend that just needs to know that recovery is real, our communities need our voices. You can be the difference that inspires someone to start their recovery journey. And a special FYI for college students, resources and real talk are happening this fall with the Campus Search Tour. Learn more at iHeartRecoveryMonth.com.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Look up, look down, look around, look up, look down, look around. In the trees and on the ground, 'cause ALB must be found.
If you're hearing this, you should be concerned about the Asian longhorn beetle, an invasive species that's destroying our trees. But you can help. Look for the signs and help stop the beetle.
Look up, look down, look around, look up, look down, look around. In the trees and on the ground, 'cause the ALB must be found.
Some signs of the ALB are dime-sized holes on tree trunks, a sawdust-like material called frass, and the beetle itself, with a long black body and white spots.
Look up, look down, look around, look up, look down, look around. In the trees and on the ground, 'cause the ALB must be found.
Learn all the signs and how to report them at AsianLonghornedBeetle.com. That's AsianLonghornedBeetle.com.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVDT AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Turn the Page Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Monday Night Football, well, the double header was a snoozer, and Miami loses a star. Texas football met with the media, and we'll hear from Coach Sark and Arch Manning. Joe Cook of Inside Texas joins us at 7:34 to preview Florida. More from the Cowboys tie in Arlington. We've got Texans voice Mark Vandermeer at 8:17, and the MLB playoffs start today at noon. So I'm excited for Major League Baseball. Also, there's a documentary that's coming out that I'm pretty excited about. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to leave your voicemail opinion, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. If it's good enough, you might even hear it on air.
It's good.
It's got to be good. It's got to be good. So yesterday, Coach Sark, coming off the bye week, met with the media, and you and I talk about this all the time. We talk about all the games that we watch over the weekend, and we start to look at all the teams. By the way, you went 4-2, Marcus. I went 4-2. Mark, we won't talk about it. We'll give you another reprieve for tomorrow.
Good looking out.
We'll pick them on Prediction Thursday, and you might want to consult with some people before you decide. But we will break it all down. But I wanted to get into the conversation about the SEC and where all these teams are kind of falling into place. If you look across the SEC, you start to understand that things ain't what they used to be. There's more balance in it. The NIL deal kind of made the playing field a little bit more fair, so to speak. Obviously, Texas and Texas A&M, and they've got a lot of.
A couple of things stood out to me. I thought there was a lot of penalties this weekend, if you want to know the truth. You know, I felt like there was a lot of penalties. And so I don't know if we're calling things a little tighter. I don't know if teams are a little sloppy. I know what our penalty situation's been this year. So we're looking inward, right, for the first 4 weeks. And this weekend gave me a chance to look outward and see what else was going on around the country. And I think, I haven't looked at the totality of penalty numbers around the country, if they're up or down, but there sure felt like a lot of penalties this weekend. So, us continuing to try to drive that number down and play cleaner football, I think is important. I think clock management was something that stood out to me this weekend as well, about the value of retaining your timeouts, of how important they can be at the end of halves and at the end of games, even though the 2-minute warning is a great asset, really giving you that fourth timeout. Surely you love to have them. And so that goes back to your preparation, your in-game, substitution patterns, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams. And I think aggressiveness, you could feel the teams that were playing aggressive in their play calls at critical moments. So all those were great. I think I've been saying this, I don't think there's not a game on anybody's schedule in our conference where you're just like, hey, you know what? Nobody really needs to tune into this one because we know what's going to happen. I think everybody better buckle up every Saturday in our conference. And we've got 8 straight conference games. And it's going to take a high level of play week in and week out to perform at a high level, because there just are no gimmies. There just aren't. And there's too many good players. There's too many tough environments you have to play in, and there's too good at coaching. And so, I don't know about favorites or not right now. I just know I just watched enough this weekend to where, well, you better be ready to play, or you're going to be behind 14 and then you're scrambling trying to play catch up. And it doesn't matter who you're playing against.
And that's the truth, because I'm sitting here looking at the overall records of the top teams in the SEC at this particular moment. Mind you, Texas hasn't played an SEC game yet, but Ole Miss has played 3. They're 3-0 and 5-0 overall. Missouri 5-0 overall and 1-0 in SEC play. Vanderbilt 5-0 and 1-0 in SEC play. Oklahoma 4-0 and 1-0 in SEC play. Texas A&M 4-0 and 1-0 in SEC play, with Alabama with 1-0, LSU 1-1, Tennessee 1-1, Georgia 1-1, South Carolina 1-2. But Texas is the only team that has not played an SEC matchup yet. Everybody else has played a game. But then you also look at the top. Did you believe that Ole Miss was going to be the top-ranked team in the conference? No. Did you think they were going to be good? Yes. Did you think Vanderbilt was going to be undefeated at this point and playing at a very, very high level? It's an A&M. And A&M was another one of those. Okay, they come out.
Most people pick A&M to be at the bottom.
Not at the bottom, but everybody just assumed Texas A&M was going to go 8-4 because that's just kind of who they are. But you start to look at it, and again, now that you're getting fully in depth into SEC play, just like I said, Ole Miss is 3-0 in SEC play.
Yeah, we're a third of the season away.
First quarter was over.
First quarter of the season away.
Yep.
And nobody's a loser yet.
Right. You can't separate. And that's been the biggest thing. So you start to look at it.
Can I ask a quick question? Do you think Sark was a little bit more relieved by the fact that he saw more penalties across the board because he's been struggling with the penalty situation?
I don't think he was relieved.
Not relieved,
I think it's more about, like he said, we're looking inward to try to make sure we got to clean up our own problems. But as you mentioned, you look across and saying, is it the SEC? Is it the officiating that you're getting from the SEC that's calling some of those ticky-tack penalties?
Right. They want to keep things under control. And I understand what they're doing, but it's hurting the sanctity of football.
It's hurting the product, as Troy Aikman was talking about last night with some of the penalties that were being called. But one of the things that was asked to Coach Sark yesterday, too, and I thought this one was a great answer as well. Does anything surprise you positively or negatively after you got a chance to use your bird's eye view of these first 4 games?
I think that, what I enjoyed was last week's game, that we got to play more players and I got a little more information on some guys. And then we got to tap into those guys throughout the week of really trying to push them in a direction that I think it can be helpful for them. We're really good when we play complementary football, and that's probably the same for everybody, but I just know looking at us, and that when we get stops when we create turnovers, when we take those turnovers and create explosive plays and score points, that momentum builds for our team. You know, we've been at our best historically around here when we start fast, when we score first. I think we're like 20-1 in our last 21 games when we've scored first. And so, you know, part of that is, you know, there is momentum in football and there's nothing like momentum. But you could see the difference in our ability to start fast a week ago, and the energy starts to spread throughout the team on offense, defense, and special teams. And so how do we create that, right? And how do we get to a point to where that just the normal for this team, right? And we can't rely on those past teams, but this team. And so I do think we've got a pretty good understanding of specific players, of things that they do well. I think we've got a better understanding of areas on the team where we can excel in all three phases. But then there's been areas where I think we need to improve upon if we want to become the team that we think we can become. And I give our guys a lot of credit. They went for it last week and they took the challenge on some areas where we wanted to improve. And they came back today with a real sense of confidence of things that we worked on last week. We came out today and executed at maybe a little higher level than I was anticipating, which is a good sign that we stayed engaged, we stayed intentional in our approach. And so, you know, we'll see. Like I said, this is now, we got to do it for the next 4 days after this to put ourselves in a really good position to play.
The good thing about that is Coach Sark said that they came out, and then the players came out and said that was probably one of their better practices. Everybody was energized. They were flying around. So it was really, really cool to see. One of the things that was asked of him, the last thing was asked about, have you held a lot back for the SEC games, or what you did is what you did?
I don't know if we discard, you know, I think naturally we've seen a lot of different things through 4 games, which to me has been a really good thing, you know, because it's really challenged us to trust our training, whether it's at the line of scrimmage, whether it's our progressions at quarterback, whether it's aligning to formations on defense. You know, we've seen a lot of just a variety of things. And so that part's been good. I don't know necessarily that we held back. I think that we have laid a solid foundation in all 3 phases to build upon for SEC play. And, you know, it's not it's like when we go to practice day 1 of training camp, you know, we lay a foundation to build on throughout training camp. I mean, we just don't come out and line up in empty formations and run reverses and things. Like, we've got to teach the foundation of the offense, defense, or special teams. I think that's kind of part of how a season goes, especially, let's say, on the offensive side of the ball, where we were a younger team on offense. We had to make sure that we built a foundation. We had to go through growing pains so that we could do the things that I knew we needed to do as the season went on. And so, you know, hopefully we can put the game plan that we've devised for this week is one that is sound, but also allows us to create some explosive plays and move the chains and put the ball in the end zone. And that would be no different than on defense or on special teams.
There's some things that need to be worked out, and we're going to get a chance to see it firsthand this weekend as Texas makes that trip to Gainesville, Georgia for the first time. And just remember, you can hear all the Texas Longhorn action right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone, with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, Roger Wallace, and of course, Will Matthews, because we are your home for Texas football. Coming up next, we're going to talk NFL. I don't know what's going on with some of these teams, but I know Miami is in the market for a wide receiver. We will explain right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The voice of the Horns, Craig Way on 1300 The Zone, weekdays at 2.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Beginning Thursday.
Shelly, roll! Hi, this is Ed Sheeran. Cool,
Brian Adams. Make some noise for Tate McRae.
Hey, I'm Sammy Hagar.
Mariah Carey.
We have Maroon 5. Good evening. Glow River! Hey, this is John Fogerty.
Tim McGraw.
And so much more.
See it all at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. Streaming only on Hulu. Beginning Thursday.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Major delays on I-35 southbound this morning due to a crash at McNeil Road. Looking about an hour to an hour and a half of backup that now starts from Westinghouse Road. Give yourself plenty of extra time this morning, or maybe hop over to 130 to try to avoid these slowdowns. There's also a crash blocking off the right lane of the exit ramp on 183 southbound off to Mopac. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers, pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
iHeart presents. The police coming straight from the underground. Ice Cube bringing truth to power. You know how we do. Featuring 4 decades of attitude, a musical production like he's never done before. Taking the stage at Moody Center, October 16th. Ice Cube, Truth to Power Tour. 4 decades of attitude. Before hip hop, homies got shot. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Thomas J. Henry is a proud radio broadcast sponsor of the University of Texas Sports. If you were seriously hurt in an accident, it's important to act fast. Call Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Austin, Texas.
We started Henyon and Walsh for people like you. People with integrity, honesty, and loyalty. The result? We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts because you've earned it. We're Henyon and Walsh and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon and Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon and Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Economists are predicting a robust 2025. Rates are lower and huge rebates are back. This is great news for consumers. Now, having said that, new vehicle transaction prices are double what they were in 2010, and consumers want low payments. Auto manufacturers are addressing affordability with long-term financing agreements of 72, 75, even 84 months in duration. Those terms don't come close to matching most people's trade cycles. And Apple Leasing Easy Lease offers the lowest payments and terms that make sense for you. After all, does it really make sense to make a high payment on a long-term purchase when the only thing you'll be left with at the end is negative equity? We all know how this story ends. Join thousands of other clients and save today with the Easy Lease. Make no down payments, have no payments for 60 days, and build a relationship that lasts a lifetime. It's easy. Just call 512-346-9977 or visit us online at appleleasing.com.
Texas football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball, world's strongest man, Mark Henry, and of course, our guy Mark is holding it down. Make sure, ladies, make sure you make your plans right now. Come and hang out with myself and Ann Hudson. 96.7 KISS FM, as we will be doing 9 Down Wednesdays at Kane and Abel. The good part about it is it's your last chance to get some ACL tickets. That's right. If you come out and hang out with us, you get a chance to win a pair of ACL tickets. We'll be there from 5 to 7 talking all things football, wine, brought to you by Stella Rosa, and of course, a chance for you to get some ACL tickets. I want to get into this conversation because last night in the NFL was the last two Monday night football games. We had ourselves a doubleheader to finish off week 4 of the NFL. And last night, the Miami Dolphins looked pretty good, looked pretty decent last night, but they were playing the New York Jets. And the game came down to
a slap in the face.
The Jets are terrible. 27, and so is Miami, by the way. They actually look good last night.
They ran some really innovative, creative offensive plays, though. I got to say, I twice, Mike McDaniel,
yep.
I said, look at him. He should be a coordinator. I still want him to be fired.
Yeah.
Regardless of how good he did, I still want him to be fired as a head coach.
Yeah, they end up winning the game 27-21. Justin Fields, who the Cowboys will be playing next week. The Cowboys take on the New York Jets this Sunday. And Justin Fields was running for his life on every single play. Every time he dropped back, he was running for his life. He ran 7 times for 81 yards. He had the same amount of rushing yards as Breece Hall in half the carries, because that's what it was. But he did have that 43-yard touchdown run that kind of changed the way things look. I thought Garrett Wilson played outstanding. Got called for a PI, offensive PI, that nobody in the NFL gets called for that. No wide receivers get called for offensive PI.
They push off all the time.
Every play is a push off. It's a scrappy
because they're hand fighting.
Exactly. So, but the story of the game was the Dolphins losing Tyreek Hill, and not only losing him, they're losing him for the year because he tore up everything in his leg. He's having surgery this morning to repair torn ACL, dislocated kneecap, torn MCL, and everything that's got a CL in it. He had to get that all repaired.
Hardge, I did the same thing. Everything but the anterior cruciates I tore. MCL, PCL, ACL, LDL. Like it was bad. And
the brother tore his cholesterol.
I tore stuff that they didn't even know was in a knee.
Sound like he tore D.L. Hughley in this mug.
Okay, you stretching.
I'm like, goodness
but it
gracious.
was bad, and it took 9 months to heal.
Right.
And it's luckily he's doing it immediately because he's going to need that whole calendar year. If he's lucky, he'll play week 7 next year.
Well, the thing about it is you start looking at what Tyreek Hill is. He's a speed merchant. That is his game. And for him to have to go
even longer.
But he too is very, very strong. He's put together. He's solid. So sometimes if you're already strong enough in those particular moments, especially with today's science and what's going on with the medical advances with these doctors, I'm sure obviously he's getting the best doctor out there. But I don't think he'll be able to run like he normally did. But I know he's going to try to be close to that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to try his best to come back. And if he is not normal and he's not able to do what he did before, then he'll adjust.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You have to learn to adjust.
Similar guy, a guy had the similar string of injuries at the same time was Tank Dell last year. So you can probably look at the time placement of when he comes back and kind of estimate when Tyreek could get back.
Well, the difference between him and Tyreek is stronger.
Yeah, he's built like a running back.
Yeah, he's bigger than what Tank Dell is. Tank Dell is light. I'm talking about light.
Ooh, he
is.
Ooh, he's sweet and low.
He might have been blown in the wind right there.
Was he like 160 pounds,
if
170 pounds?
If that. So, but still, you start to look at it and you understand what this Miami team is going to be like. It's going to be a difficult way to roll. So, but good news is Waller's back for them. He scored 2 touchdowns. He's been on the DL and came back off the IR, and now he's back into the game. And for him, that is huge. But now they get ready to play the Panthers, who is on a roller coaster. Then they go against the Chargers, who is missing their left tackle. He's going to be out for the year. Then they go up against the Cleveland Browns, and they have the Falcons in Atlanta. So this is going to be an interesting road for them, but I still believe, to your point, Mark, Mike McDaniels, this was just fugazi. They just put a little facade in front of us and let us know that he's about to be out of there. That's not this team is not going to be able to withstand not having Tyreek there. In the other NFL game last night, the Denver Broncos playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are terrible without Joe Burrow. Period. Point blank. There's nothing else to discuss when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. They thought they were going to be good with Browning, and everybody was like, they won that first game, and it was like, oh, yeah. Well, now they're game planning for him. They're game planning for him to be that guy that you start to look at and you say, there's no way that he is going to be able to lead this team. It's kind of like what's going on with Baltimore. Cooper Rush was great for the Dallas Cowboys because Cooper Rush had been with the Cowboys in their system for multiple years. He knew everything about it. He knew the ins and outs. He's new to what's going on in Baltimore, and now he's going to have to take over pending on what's happening with Lamar. That's another place that's scary. But getting back to the Broncos, you start looking at what they are. They're 2-2, 2-0 at home. Bo Nix, 326 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cortland Sutton looks to be that big play wide receiver that they've been wanting from him. J.K. Dobbins has come in and ran the ball well. They got A.J. Harvey that has been running the ball well also. So Denver is going to be a problem. I mean, R.J. Harvey. They ran a reverse to Mims, which ended up being a touchdown. So you start looking at their team, and it's a big-time difference. But my question for you, Mark, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you have T. Higgins, who only had 3 receptions last night, you have Jamar Chase, who had 5 receptions, but for 23 yards, you have to go out and get a quarterback that can actually help you. Russell Wilson is sitting out there. Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is the 3rd-team quarterback for the New York Giants, and you cannot tell me that he's not better than Browning.
Come on, obviously.
Exactly.
I mean, after watching last night, there were times where I wondered where he was looking.
Right.
Because, they showed at halftime a couple of Chase's routes that he ran where he had his hand up like, hey, throw me the ball, and the guy had a clean pocket.
Right.
He's just seeing ghosts. He's a bench quarterback. He's designed to hold a clipboard and tell guys what they see standing on the sideline. He is not a player. And there's no indictment on him.
Yeah.
But that's the truth. There's guys that play, and then there's guys that coach.
So you calling him a QB coach?
He's a quarterback coach.
Oh, my gosh.
Out there trying to throw the ball to pros. Get out of here.
When we come back, we're going to talk to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas, get his breakdown of what he heard yesterday. And, of course, we've got to ask him about the Florida Gators and how this matchup could play out. Right here on a Turn the Page Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Improvements on I-35 southbound. The crash at Highway 79 now blocks off just the right shoulder, but still causing about a 45-minute backup from Westinghouse Road. The service road of I-35 northbound is closed down due to a crash at William Cannon Drive, and there's also an accident blocking off the right lane on the exit ramp on 183 southbound off to Mopac. I'm Jason Foster with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Texas weather can be wild,
Protect your home with residential metal roofing from Mueller Inc. Strong, stylish, and designed to last, our metal roofs handle wind, hail, and heat with minimal maintenance. With a range of colors and styles, you'll get lasting beauty and proven durability, all backed by paint warranties up to 45 years. Visit with one of our sales representatives today at any of our locations across Texas, including Marble Falls and Spicewood.
It's the gaming event of the year, featuring T-Pain's Nappy Boy Grizzlies versus Neo's Gentleman's Gaming. It's a 4v4 matchup featuring Call of Duty, Tetris, Trackmania, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4, and Tekken 8. Season 0 of the Global Gaming League is live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Head over to globalgamingleague.com.
Global, 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 global.
Wine Down Wednesday kicks off tailgate season October 1st at Cane and Naples with Stella Rosa Wines. Join Ann Hudson from 96.7 KISS FM and Mike Hardge from 1300 The Zone as they host the Women's Football Clinic and give away sold-out ACL passes. Don't miss the midweek party with Stella Rosa.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use
And Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Spurs star Victor Wembanyama has been cleared to return to action after suffering a blood clot in February. Texans traded offensive tackle Cam Robinson to the Browns in exchange for a 2027 late-round pick swap. Texans visit the Ravens on Sunday. Cowboys left tackle Tyler Guyton suffered a concussion in Sunday's tie with the Packers. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
I'm Marcus Grant. And I'm Michael F. Florio. And together we host the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast.
Ready to dominate your fantasy league this season?
Then you need the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast, your ultimate source for player news, draft tips, and winning strategies.
Whether you're a rookie manager or a fantasy vet,
we've got the insight to help you crush your opponents.
Listen to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Our blood runs orange.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It's Tuesday, and it's a Turn the Page Tuesday, so we do a lot of Texas stuff. At 8:17, we'll be talking to Mark Vandermeer of the Houston Texans. But we got to go to Inside Texas at 7:34 on a Tuesday, and that means our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas breaks down the preview for the Texas-Florida game, but of course he's got to talk about what he heard yesterday at the press availability. And Joe, I wanted to talk to you about the SEC slate and what Coach Sark talked about, where there's no clear-cut favorite, because a lot of teams that we've seen and thought was going to be at the top, well, they're not all there.
Yeah, no doubt. I think at this point, maybe coming out of this weekend, you can look at either Ole Miss and Alabama as maybe the two teams where you're like, that's it. Those are the guys. Well, Alabama's already lost to Florida State, and, that doesn't have any impact on conference standings. And then Ole Miss is playing their backup quarterback who has come from a D2 school and has just lit the world on fire. So none of those really aspects scream that there's a juggernaut in the league, which makes it wide open. I think I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they said about like six teams or so are like basically, within the realm of possibility for betting on as far as Vegas goes to win the SEC championship. And Texas hasn't even played an SEC game yet. So long way to go. October getting here kind of means conference play gets here in full force, except if you're playing a small school from Ohio and Norman next week. And then, we're in the thick of it for the race to Atlanta.
Joe, I'm really excited about us getting into SEC play, and Florida has a pretty good defense. Like, who is the stars and standouts, and what is their strong suit?
The big name to know, I think, is Tyreek Sapp, just a defensive playmaker, plays around the box. One of the guys that they were very intent on keeping this past year when all the rumors and conversation about Billy Napier was going on. Instead of paying his buyout, they paid the roster, and that was definitely one of the players that they kept. Another player to watch is Cormani McClain. He's a cornerback, and Florida just lost one of their starting cornerbacks for the year, Dijon Johnson. Cormani McClain, he played a good amount. It's not like he's just stepping in from 0 snaps to a bunch. And he actually is at Florida. I don't know if he still is this, but he transferred to Florida as a walk-on. And he had this, very tumultuous recruitment. I think Miami, I think Florida State, I think Florida ended up having his commitment, ended up starting at Colorado, never played, and then transferred back home to Florida. He's played good football. Looks like he's left some of the drama of his recruitment behind. And it comes from a guy who's been around the block a lot. Ron Roberts was, I believe, Dave Aranda's defensive coordinator for a couple of years. He was at Auburn for Hugh Freeze's first year. Definitely somebody who's just been in college football for a while and knows how to call, maybe not these electric light up the scoreboard, but electric defenses, but just sound defenses. And defense has definitely not been Florida's problem this year. That problem is on Billy Napier's side of the ball, as it turns out.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. Joe, one of the stories that you always seem to pay attention to is the red shirting of certain players. You've written an article about it. Red shirting is not what it used to be. There were some guys that came in and you knew immediately, yeah, this guy needs to red shirt. Now there's guys that are on that bubble, and Coach Sark talked about, I got a chance to really dive in to a few more guys that got a chance to play. What are some of the key players that you think will be redshirted and possibly not?
So I think I'll go with the guys who aren't going to redshirt. Nick Townsend, Grayson Littleton. I should have had the list in front of me. Nick Townsend, Grayson Littleton. Those two for sure. I think we can just kind of start there. Grayson Littleton's obviously a starter. Nick Townsend plays a whole lot of football for this team. And Texas is better served with them playing and continuing to play. And they would be better if they played this year and next year and not just hung things up for this upcoming season. Used to, I think everybody just thought you redshirt. Well, I think what we have to look at is, yes, coaches have that 4-game limit available, but come on, like if they're already playing now and starting now, like, are you really going to expect to keep that type of player for 5 years? So Daniel McCutcheon, Grayson Littleton, Lance Jackson, and Nick Townsend, those are not 5-year players. Those are not guys who are going to be here throughout the full course of their eligibility. They're going to probably either be 3-year NFL players or maybe 4-year players. And there's a good amount that have played 3 games: Khalil Lockett, Cade Phillips, Justice Terry, Jonathan Cunningham, Amari Winston, and Josiah Sharma. I think even though we know that wide receiver rotation is short, Khalil Lockett, he's probably going to play enough snaps to where, burning through that red shirt, that's fine. You weren't going to, again, not a player you're going to keep around for 4 years. Same with Cade Phillips, same with Justice Terry. The interesting one is Jonathan Cunningham, and not because, he was highly rated and, just one of these guys that Texas fans saw when he signed. It's like, that guy's going to be instant impact, but he has become pivotal on special teams. And, the value for that is he's providing good quality play. And that means someone like Michael Taft may not have to. Right. And that's really important as we're going across the 17-game season, possibly. A few more who are probably going to cross that threshold: James Simon, Jonah Williams, and maybe, maybe someone like Elijah Bo Barnes. I think there's just going to be a good amount of guys who play. And the thing is, these players want to play. The real positions where you really need the red shirt, because if not, you look out of place, are still in the trenches. If you're a fast wide receiver, you're fast no matter what. It may take a second to learn the offense, but they can figure that out if they need to use you in a pinch. And quarterbacks as well. KJ Lacey probably is going to end up being a guy who redshirt. So I wouldn't view the 4 games as like, oh, we have to take advantage of this. It's just there if it's there. And if these guys are playing now, they're going to be playing the rest of the year, especially if they're already in the starting lineup.
James Simon was the one that I was really wondering about, because I'm just blown away at the talent of the kid. Do you think that with the impending injury guys, CJ Baxter coming back, who I saw recently and it looked good, and he said he felt good, with those guys coming back, do you think that's going to affect his playing time?
I think it definitely will. Top 2 running backs coming back are going to bump him down. But there's a good chance he could be the number 3 guy. With that Sam Houston State game kind of became, and even a little bit of the UTEP game became a tryout. Who's going to be the 3rd running back? Who's going to be a guy who can maybe get 5 carries over the course of a game, or 3 carries or something like that? And it could be James Simon. It could be the guy who, in the middle of the second quarter when everybody needs a break, he's the guy toting the rock. But I think no matter what, he has proven that his services are essential this year. And the thing is it's kind of like I mentioned, all these guys want to play. If you're going through, these first few weeks of the season preparing like you're going to play, because there is a different process for like full-on redshirt guys like the offensive linemen, and for the players who play pretty regularly. Stark has said as much before. I don't know the full details, but some are kind of lifting to in-season maintain, and some are lifting to develop.
Yep.
But I mean, if you're that type of player, you're going to be needed at some point. And you're not, just trying to figure out how as an 18-year-old, what it's like going up against 22-year-olds who've been living in the trenches their whole life. So I bet he's going to be utilized, and, it's just going to be a player. It's a number 1 recruiting class for a reason. A lot of these guys are talented and have the stuff, mental makeup and physical tools to play right away.
There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Make sure you get to on3.com and check out all the latest, or, of course, get over to Inside Texas. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right. There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. When we come back, Arch Manning spoke with the media yesterday, and we'll hear from him. And, of course, we've got one more soundbite from Coach Sark right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Do you ever feel like when you're talking, nobody is listening? Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone will listen to you. What is on your mind? Go! All you have to do is use the iHeartRadio app Talkback feature when listening to AM 1300 The Zone.
Yo, hello, it's me. Enjoy the show.
We will get your message instantly, and we promise to listen to it.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Improvements on I-35 southbound. The crash at Highway 79 now blocks off just the right shoulder, but still causing about a 45-minute backup from Westinghouse Road. The service road of I-35 northbound is closed down due to a crash at William Cannon Drive, and there's also an accident blocking off the right lane on the exit ramp on 183 southbound off to Mopac. I'm Jason Foster with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
The truth is, fantasy drafts are always tough. Do you reach for that quarterback or that wide receiver that no one knows about that's from your favorite college? Or do you just get that last Bud Light in the cooler? Choose wisely, because when the game's on the line, no one wants to reach in there and not have that Bud Light. Bud Light, the official domestic beer of Texas football. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
iHeart presents Ice Cube, Truth to Power Tour. Taking the stage at Moody Center, October 16th. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights, because let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Hey, this is Melissa Etheridge. I'm using my voice to support iHeart's National Recovery Month campaign. We've all been touched by addiction or mental health challenges, and these often overlap. Nearly 9 million people have a co-occurring disorder, and almost 60% receive no treatment at all. Together, we can fight stigma by normalizing the conversation, even save lives if more people feel comfortable asking for help. Recovery is possible. Learn more. Lend your support at iHeartRecoveryMonth.com.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Riata Ford in Manor has made it simple. Pick yours at RiataFord.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Riata Ford in Manor has made buying a new Ford simple.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeart Radio app.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Coming up at 8:17, we'll recap the Houston Texans weekend of the Houston Texans. Mark Vanderbilt, which you can hear all Houston Texans games right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Yesterday, Coach Sark got an opportunity to continue his conversation with the media, but we also got a chance to talk with one Arch Manning. But before we get into that, I wanted you to hear from Coach Sark because there was something that kind of stood out to me. Again, this was a great presser, but one of the things was the challenges and the wrinkles Florida might be able to bring because they are such a talented football team.
They're an excellent defensive front, and Sapp is a heck of a player and had a great year last year. They've got a really good depth on their front, and they're big. You know, they are not the most, play on an edge, penetrating defense. They two-gap you, and they do that intentionally because he likes to play. They play with a lot of split safety looks, and they're a veteran secondary, and so they can make things really muddy in the secondary. They can force a quarterback to hold the ball, and then that's where the pressure can get there. And so, the key to the drill is we got to maintain the line of scrimmage. We got to run the ball well. And then if we can get them out of some of that too high shell look where they're doubling receivers and doing things because, Ron, I got a ton of respect for Ron Roberts, their defensive coordinator. He's been doing it a long time at a really high level. And so they're not built necessarily to always just sack the quarterback. They're built to really guard your receivers and then make the pocket feel small on the quarterback. And so, hopefully we can get them out of some of that stuff. We'll see how that goes and then try to attack them as best we can, and find some opportunities for some one-on-ones down the field.
That sound that you hear, that sound like squirrels on your roof is people typing while Coach Sark is speaking. So it's kind of funny when you get a chance to hear it. But we got a chance to talk to Arch, and he was talking about playing in Gainesville because his two uncles, Eli and Peyton, didn't have a lot of success in Gainesville, but he's looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've never been. I think Peyton and Eli both played there, and they said it's the real deal. So we're excited to get down there.
And then how was the success of third and long, and how you're going to be successful?
Yeah, I think it all depends on the look you're getting from the defense and the play that's called, but you really just want to throw it to the guy in the same jersey color as you. So let's not make it bigger than it is.
Yeah, you got to make sure you don't throw it to the other team.
Don't throw it to the other side.
And one of the biggest things that Coach Sark talked about yesterday, too, was the pressure of these young quarterbacks. If you look at the SEC and how they ranked them coming into the season, all those rankings have kind of changed. And there's more pressure that is being put on these young quarterbacks and old quarterbacks, for that matter, to where people are just – because everybody's got a podcast, everybody's got an opinion, and there's just so much out there and the access that we have to all of these guys. But Arch was asked how he's handling all of the outside pressure.
Yeah. I really just don't make it bigger than it is. Continue to be myself, be a normal guy, normal student athlete, and then go execute one play at a time. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. Just simple, to the point, direct. Not trying to make it bigger than what it is. And it's interesting because every single week when you start to look at who was at the top, and everybody, we talked a little bit about this, Grant Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Drew Almer, or what's his name? Drew, the quarterback for Penn State. You start looking across the nation, and all of these quarterbacks were supposed to be future number one, first round picks. Well, then they struggle a little bit, and maybe the pressure that they put on themselves, kind of like what Arch was going through. A lot of pressure on himself to live up to the hype. Every throw had to be perfect, every call, but it's not going to be that. And I think that is where some of the struggles are. Joe talked about the quarterback from Ole Miss. He is a stud. What people don't know, he played at a Division II, Ferris State. They won the national championship, and he was their Division II Heisman Trophy winner. So the kid is talented. People forget Cam Ward. went to Incarnate Word first, no offers coming out. Then he goes to Washington State, put up big numbers. Then he goes to Miami, and eventually he's the number 1 overall pick. So now these kids are getting opportunities to go play at these other colleges and then getting picked up because of the transfer portal. So what you see initially may not but be the truth to what the turnout's going to be. But it's been impressive to watch what these quarterbacks have now kind of flipped the script in these situations. Think about DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway was somebody that out of Willis, top recruit. Coach Sark talked about it. We recruited him hard here at the University of Texas, and he ended up going to Florida. Understood.
Yeah, look at Drew Metzger. He up there in North Texas playing like really, really solid, really, really good football, and he didn't start since middle school.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't
even really play at
Vandergriff.
Vandergriff.
Yeah, so it's an interesting time in college football, but every Saturday we wake up and get excited about game day, and we all got a chance to watch and learn and kind of create our own thought process when it comes to what's happening in this game. But Archie just got to go out and be Arch, and that's all he can be. DJ Lagway just got to go out and be DJ Lagway, and so on and so on. So we'll see. It's an exciting time. You can hear the game right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, as we are your home for Texas football. Craig Way, Roger Wallace, and Will Matthews will have the call. We'll be at third base in Round Rock for the pregame show starting at 11:30 that you can hear right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is just around the corner. We will talk Dallas Cowboys. And by the way, Vrabel is not a coach you want to mess around with. I'll explain right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Did you miss the Bitcoin wagon? Millions got rich because they got in on a technology you still don't understand. But the crypto gang got greedy, handing control of the Bitcoin network to China. This carelessness gives us a second chance called Texacoin. You're invited on the Texacoin journey. We'll guide you through this new frontier to claim your share of the profits. Don't let your friends get rich without you. Secure your seat as we take Texacoin to the moon and beyond. Learn more at texacoin.org. This is an investment that carries risk. Texacoin.org.
Hey, listen to this. All it needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit trimfireradio.com.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
The free iHeartRadio app makes your car radio jealous.
Live radio presets, lyrics for songs, and the most podcasts on the planet.
Plus, it all fits in your pocket.
Your car radio can't do that.
Make sure the free iHeartRadio app is on your smartphone now.
The #1 app for radio.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to a Turn the Page Tuesday edition, hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We talked a lot about Texas football as Coach Sark met with the media yesterday, as did Arch Manning, Parker Livingston, and Hero Kanu got a chance to meet with the media yesterday. We also got a chance to talk about the Dolphins and how they beat the Jets 27-21. But the news is on Tyreek Hill, who is out for the year and no guarantees that he'll play in 2026. The Broncos defeat the Bengals 28-3. They have no chance, the Bengals that is, without Joe Burrow. We also got a chance to talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Coming up at 8:17, we have the Texans' voice, Mark Vandermeer, talking all things Houston Texans as they get a victory finally, but is it false hope after their victory? But right now, I want to get back into the conversation about the Dallas Cowboys and their tie 40-40 against the Green Bay Packers. We gave a lot of love to the Packers early in the year, but that might have been false as well because first 2 games of the season was at home. The last 2 games, they lose to the Cleveland Browns, and they almost should have lost to the Dallas Cowboys. Poor clock management and so many different things that was going wrong. But 2 players that stood out during this game for the Dallas Cowboys was James Houston. He is somebody that needs to be on the field because every time he does get on the field, he makes a play. And I don't know about Eberflus and what's next for him. He is terrible as a defensive coordinator. The Dallas Cowboys has the best offense in football and the absolute worst defense in football. Can you get in the 15s on both of them? Because I don't expect Dallas to be the #1 offense. They're doing it without CeeDee Lamb right now. They're having to throw the ball too much. But that defense needs some help. And James Houston is somebody that Coach Schottenheimer really thinks that he should be on the field.
It just goes to show you, there's great football players out there everywhere. And what I love about James is, here he is going out and creating, havoc for the quarterbacks and making a strip sack fumble, recovering himself. But he's also running down on kickoff last week, making the opening kickoff, and did the same thing yesterday in terms of making plays. And
that's a guy that continues to make plays. He's an integral part of it. Him and Wanye Thomas have been important on that back end. Malik Hooker is going to be out for 3 weeks at least with the turf toe situation. So this defense needs to pick it up, and they need to do it quicker than later. Also, especially this week, because Justin Fields is going to be running around. If you don't have the right people on the field, you're going to make him look like an all-pro. Another person that has kind of stood out that I was apprehensive about in the very beginning is Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams, the running back for the Dallas Cowboys, all he is doing is punishing people every time he touches the ball, and Schottenheimer spoke on him as well.
And a guy that probably doesn't get talked enough about that did a hell of a job yesterday, and you guys can pull up the clips, was Javonte Williams. He was cleaning edges for us a lot, and there's times where you want to keep him in, and those things don't go in the stat book. But I thought he was incredible at that yesterday.
He's proven me wrong. Let's just say that he was somebody that I was kind of. I don't know what we're gonna get from him.
When you put it on the ground, that's the thing that gives you skepticism about a running back. If they put it on the ground, he put it on the ground in Denver. Like that.
Well, he was coming off of that ACL was the thing that I was worried about. I wasn't really worried about the fumbling part.
Issue.
No, I was more worried about his knee coming back.
The modern technology, I have a lot of faith in it right now because I've seen so many people come back from injuries that, that's a given, I think, now.
Right.
The thing that I have a problem with is putting the ball on the carpet.
Yeah.
Like high and tight. Like stop letting people punch the ball out. And some people have little hands. So they have that issue of not being able to hold on to the ball. And early in the season, I guess it was the first thing he did, put it on the ground. So he haven't fumbled since. And hopefully I'm not jinxing him.
He's been more effective than what we thought. Well, I thought for sure. And he seems to be getting better and better every single game. If you look at the way that the offense is being run and the way that he moves around, they've done a really good job with setting him up for success.
Yeah, and he understands that blocking scheme because that's what he ran at Denver.
Well, you look at it too. This Dallas Cowboys team, which is dealing with the loss of Tyler Booker still at this point, but he's running straight downhill and being able. These guys like that.
Yeah,
I love Huffman at the center position because he's got nasty in him. I've seen it multiple times since he's had to take over for Connor Beebe. So this team running the ball looks great. Like I said, the offense is the best in the NFL right now statistically. So it's been impressive to watch. But going up in New England, I want you to hear from Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a former player. He's a tough guy. He got into a skirmish earlier in the season during preseason where he jumped into the pile to break up a fight early. So he's a player's player. He's a player's coach. He's a guy that you want to get down with. Well, we all know that Stephon Diggs is somebody that talented as all get out, but he's struggling right now with the playbook, and Vrabel's not the one to say that to.
Steph Diggs said that his comfortability within the offense is a 5 out of 10 right now. Is that just how he feels?
Then he should study more.
Okay.
I love this you, by the way. This is like, let's go.
5 out of 10.
Let's go get
we need to get going. I'll have to talk to Steph today. You got to know the playbook inside and out.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
5 out of 10. I went to Ohio State. It's failing. Yeah, that's not good.
I didn't know.
Sorry.
I just didn't know if it was him feeling comfortable coming back from injury or if it was how he felt with Drake or within the offense. I didn't know.
We'll have to clarify what part of it is 50%. We'll have to have a winning effort physically, mentally, and whatever the third one was. Yeah. We'll have to bump it up a little bit here to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing. That was WEEI in Boston. But it's the truth. Like, you're wide receiver, man. 5 out of 10, and you tell people that, it's embarrassing. And Vrabel is not the one.
Time on the yacht with the assorted accompaniment of libations and pills, and more time studying your playbook.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty simple. It seems pretty simple.
I mean, you look at the offseason, They never talked about the offseason, about how he was studying, how he was the first one at the facility, how he was working out with the quarterbacks. They showed him on the yacht with Cardi B.
Yeah.
They showed him at the party.
That's his baby mama now. So,
well,
you know,
bless their heart.
Yeah. So you got to see how that goes down. But you start to look at it and you're like, hey, go read the playbook, man. Go study.
I don't understand how you can be a professional and not study. Hardge, you send me a note every day. Hey, did you check this out? Hey, did you check this out? And I'll send you stuff. Hey, this would be a good point of contention. We're always thinking about work because we want to.
Right.
I think some of these guys are just good at what they do. They don't really want to. They do it because they're good at it.
Yeah.
Where's the passion? I want the guys on my team that, hey, I'll see my family when the season is over. I want you to sacrifice. I want you to bleed like me.
That's why it's kind of frustrating to me when you start to look at the money that is being spent on these players. And this is one guy. I'm not saying everybody is like this, number one. Number two, they're just not openly saying, I'm about a 5 to 10. I'm about a 5 on a scale of 10 to understanding the playbook. I don't think it's that difficult of a playbook. You're playing wide receiver. Know what you're supposed to do on every play. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
And you have cues.
And not only that, you don't pull that with a coach like Vrabel. You don't pull it with any coach because I'll pull you out of the game is what's going to end up happening. But the fact still remains that there's so many things that are wrong in these particular moments that a guy like Diggs, who's had issues before, and you start to look at these issues following him, maybe that's what's happened at every single place that he's been.
Well, that's going to be the narrative.
Maybe that's been the story. Maybe that's why he was run out of Minnesota. Maybe that's why he was run out of H-Town. Maybe that is why he's been run out of Buffalo. You start looking at the trends, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just he doesn't work hard enough in the film room to warrant all the headaches that he's given us in other situations.
But he'll be the first one that gets on the field and is like, hey, man, throw me the ball.
Yeah.
What do you mean throw you the ball? Like, this guy's
not
been
in the right
killing
spot.
it.
You're not in the right spot.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's just one of those things, another thing to where it's like, bro, get it right. Get it right, man. You're doing it at the wrong squad is the biggest thing. Coming up next, we're going to go to H-Town and talk to the voice of the Houston Texans, Mark Vandermeer, and find out how he's feeling after the Texans' victory this past weekend. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio AM 1300 The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
There's an accident causing delays on Highway 45 eastbound just after Turnersville Road, and looking onto the service road of I-35 northbound. An early morning crash blocks off all lanes at William Cannon Drive. Stick to the main lanes here of I-35 to get around these delays. There's also a wreck on 290 eastbound at Shadow Glen. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Heating and air and plumbing. Call us because we care. American Standard Air.
Chris and Kyle here. We're Elite AC and Plumbing, the local guys. Problems with backup showers and toilets stink. No, seriously, really stink. Call us when you need us. We're on our way. Fast, clean, and done right. Call us for your home and commercial needs.
American Standard Air. Elite Heating and Air and Plumbing. Call us because we care.
It's the gaming event of the year, featuring T-Pain's Nappy Boy Grizzlies versus Neo's Gentleman's Gaming. It's a 4v4 matchup featuring Call of Duty, Tetris, Trackmania, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4, and Tekken 8. Season 0 of the Global Gaming League is live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Head over to globalgamingleague.com.
Global, 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 global.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
Pickleball is the fastest growing court sport in the world, and no one makes playing pickleball safer, more comfortable, and quicker on your feet than Tyrell. Tyrell is the first purpose-built shoe made specifically for playing pickleball. Tyrell shoes are made with the famous Vibram outsole. Remember, Tyrol. If you want to elevate your game, you want to play longer, more comfortably, go to TyrellPickleball.com and experience how Tyrell can help your game while making you look like a real pro.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
iHeart presents. The police coming straight from the underground. Ice Cube bringing truth to power.
You know how we do. Featuring 4 decades of attitude, a musical production like he's never done before. Taking the stage at Moody Center, October 16th. Ice Cube, Truth to Power Tour. 4 decades of attitude. Before hip-hop, homies got shot. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
This is it, the biggest race weekend of the year. The Formula One United States Grand Prix roars back into Austin October 17th through 19th at Circuit of the Americas. 3 days of racing, 3 massive headliners, 1 legendary weekend. Witness 36 hours of entertainment featuring performances by Kygo, Garth Brooks, and the Turnpike Troubadours. Lock in your spot today at thecircuit.com. That's thecircuit.com.
It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's a Turn the Page Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff, but it's also a Texans Tuesday, and that's why we have to go to H-Town right now and take a call from the voice of the Houston Texans, Mark Vandermeer, where we are the home of the Houston Texans here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Happy times in H-Town after that victory, 26-0 over the Tennessee Titans. But it's not always roses, is it, Mark?
No, it's not, guys. I mean, look, you cannot ignore in victory what you would not in defeat. Jeff Van Gundy always used to say that. And I think that it was a good win. There's no question. I mean, you get your first win. You get your first shutout in 15 years. And shutouts don't happen much in the league. You've only had 2 so far this year. The Texans have 1 of them. So that's great. I think the Titans are kind of a dead team right now. I mean, they really need to wake up. But you had to get the win, and you did. And the offense really came alive in that fourth quarter. You know, the drive that started late in the third, ended in the fourth. C.J. Stroud finding Woody Marks, who had 2 TDs. That was a big plus. I mean, the rookie coming out party was in full flux with Jaden Higgins catching his first touchdown, and Jalen Noel continues to be a good return man. So I think all in all, they're happy about getting the win. Now they have a gotta-get-it game because this is going to continue as you try to dig out of the hole. They have a gotta-have-it game at Baltimore on Sunday, a place where they have never won.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, a team that's struggling like Baltimore, this would be a pretty good skin on the wall. Do you think that they should go more with Woody Marks because he looked explosive?
Yeah, no question they should, in my opinion. Now, they don't really ask me my thoughts on who should get Woody Marks is it. I mean, Nick Chubb does a good job. I think Nick Chubb is looking pretty good. Yep. But Woody Marks has this acceleration. He's like one of those cars that 0 to 60 and nothing. And I love watching him run. He's just one of those exciting guys when he's carrying the football. The touchdown run that he had, the second TD that he had twitch along the way, and it just moved side to side and yet in a straight line. Have to milk this thing as long as you possibly can and really see what you have here. How special is it potentially? You know, we're raving about it right now. Raving's maybe a strong word. We're happy about it right now, but you really got to take a longer look to see what you really possess in Woody Marks as a running back.
Well, some news came out yesterday. They decided to make a move and trade Cam Robinson to the Browns. And O-line, it played decently. It didn't play great. He did have 2 sacks that were given up. Some could say it was on CJ not getting rid of the ball, but you know as well as I do, he might be a little trigger happy. So he had to make some moves. Where do you accommodate that move of Cam Robinson being traded to the Browns to?
I think it was a situation where he wanted to play. He was on the bench. He wasn't going to play unless somebody got hurt. And I'm uneasy about trades like this or moves like this when, hey, somebody could get hurt, right? And you'd love to have depth like that because if one of the tackles goes, you're going to be scrambling. But I think it was just one of those veteran things. Let's let Cam Robinson go. I don't even know what the pick swap is, but it's late rounds. But Nick Caserio takes that pocket change in the 6th and 7th round and turns it into magic very often. So let's see what he can do later on. These are 2027 picks anyway. But the big picture here is this. Ursery's your left tackle. Titus Howard's your right tackle. And Blake Fisher is now coming in. He's a swing tackle, but he's coming in as the 6th man when they go to 6 offensive linemen. We've been begging for that too. Go to 6. Max protect or max run block or whatever you want to call it. You can also throw out of that formation. And in regards to the sacks, 2 sacks, but look, 2 sacks here is like a headline, right? I mean, they've been giving up way too many. And when CJ gets sacked 2 times or less in a game, in the last 10 outings where that's happened, he's 8-2. So protect CJ, good things happen. He had his highest quarterback rating in over a year. So that was a nice thing to see as well.
I've been screaming from the tallest tower that teams should go to more extra tight ends or extra offensive line series. And Hardge always goes, come on, man. You're always trying to put another lineman on the field. That would be great for Houston.
Yeah, definitely, because you can protect better. You want to be able to open up more holes. And I know it looks obvious run, but then you can sort of bootleg out of that and do some creative things as well. I'm fine with that, especially when you have a receiver like Nico Collins who can get himself open anywhere. I'm all about that. I like either that or spread them out. I like spreading out everybody a lot and then, taking your shots that way because at least you can see where the rush is coming from. When everybody's all bunched in, sometimes you have blocking assignments, guys miss things on stunts, and all of a sudden your quarterback's dead meat. So you want to avoid that, obviously.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am with the spread offense. That way you can recognize a lot sooner. I wanted to ask you this, too, because as you look at the AFC South, you got 2 teams in Indianapolis and Jacksonville, both sitting at 3-1. The Texans get their first win. You mentioned Tennessee, and Cam Ward is not happy with the way that team is playing. I don't think anybody in Tennessee is. As you look at this conference as a whole, is Indianapolis for real?
Well, Daniel Jones turned back into Daniel Jones on Sunday, which was great to see for the Houston Texans, right? He throws 2 picks in that game against the Rams. I know A.D. Mitchell dropped that TD and everything. How does that happen, by the way? I mean, I don't even understand this. He talked about, I thought I saw an emblem in the end zone. These guys run 4.4s and they get their tippy toes down on the sideline for amazing catches. They could probably fly fighter jets like Top Gun, and he can't figure out where the end zone is. It blows my mind. Anyway, these guys, the Colts are a good team, but they're not great. Look at the schedule that they played so far. Now they play a really good team on the road, and look what happens. Meanwhile, the Texans have 3 losses to 3-3-1 teams because the Jaguars went to San Francisco and took care of business in a big way. They turned people over like crazy. Number turnover margin, the Jaguars. And as far as the Titans go, I wanted to ask you guys this, because Cam Ward is throwing sidearm a lot, and it looks just strange coming out. It's not accurate. I think he's going to be good, but he's got to break that habit. Is there a lot of talk in Austin about Arch throwing like that a little bit?
Well, he's kind of changed. Arch went back to regular Arch last week. So he looked he looked a lot better last week. Now we'll see what happens when the pressure gets a little bit different from Sam Houston to Florida this week. So we'll see about that. But yes, it was a topic of discussion throughout every sounding board that you could possibly see.
I see. Yeah, and I think that it's a bad habit sometimes. I talked to Andre Ware about it, and he said, often when the pressure is on, you revert to those things because you can get it out kind of fast, and the ball does have some velo, but it might not be as accurate as you want, so you got to be careful with that.
Well, Andre Ware is somebody that would definitely know that answer correctly.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like a lot of these quarterbacks are mimicking Patrick Mahomes, but he's a unicorn. Like he can throw with either arm, so that it looks cool when he does it. But like, do you practice that shot? Do you practice that throw? Can you make hay with it? Most people can't.
Yeah, it's a great topic you bring up. Mahomes is a big influence on a lot of people, especially Raiola, but Mahomes is a big influence, and maybe he shouldn't be. I mean, I think his work ethic should, and yeah, you want to be creative. Life is about being creative and being fun, but man, you play for a football team and a lot of people depend on you as a quarterback. You can't be going crazy like Patrick Mahomes. Don't try this at home, some of the stuff he does. It's nuts. Josh Allen, these guys are all unicorns, the very top guys in the league. So you got to be careful when you try to mimic them.
Yeah, no doubt. I wanted to ask you about EJ Speed because he is somebody that continues to show up on tape, makes his flashes. He's somebody that needs to be on the field all the time. Is that what you're feeling too? Because I know that D'Amico really likes this kid.
Yeah, when they signed him, we thought, all right, this is a luxury signing. I mean, do you really need EJ Speed? You have Henry To'oTo'o. You have Christian Harris. You have Azeez Al-Shire. Do you need EJ Speed? And clearly you do, because he gets sideline to sideline so fast. Look at all the tackles he racked up in Indianapolis with Zaire Franklin playing in that linebacking core. Look, it's not perfect all the time, but he flies around the field. And we had a nice visit with him yesterday. It's probably up on YouTube already on the Texans channel. He's a terrific guy. And he's from Fort Worth. He went to Tarleton State. He kind of plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he was overlooked in many ways coming out of high school and even coming into the league and even as a free agent. But he's found a home here in Houston, and I think you're going to see a whole lot more of him. I can't believe the disappearance of Christian Harris, as he only had 4 snaps on Sunday, and I think he's healthy. But I'm not going to give up on him. I think they're very deep there, and there's a lot of competition, and that's what you want.
Yep, and that's what they need because you got to get them back on the right side of things. As always, Mark, we appreciate our Tuesdays with you.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Continue the great work, and you can hear it all right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
All right, guys, if they beat Baltimore on Sunday, you're going to hear me at my happiest next week. So let's see if that happens.
Let's go.
I can't wait. I can't wait. We're pulling for that. Thanks again.
All right, thanks, guys.
There he goes, Mark Vandermeer, the voice of the Houston Texans. And as I said, you can hear it right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Coming up next, we'll hear from the world's strongest man as he gives you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
About a 15-minute delay being caused by a crash on Highway 45 eastbound at Wright Road. Delays start from Turnersville Road. Looking onto 290 eastbound for a wreck at Shadow Glen Boulevard, and all lanes are closed off due to a wreck on the service road of I-35 northbound at William Cannon. Try using the main lanes here to avoid these slowdowns. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Hey, it's Mark here, the world's strongest man, and here's some strong advice when it comes to working out, energy, longevity, pain management. It's all about blood flow. Heart health is all health. That's why I strongly recommend Super Beats by Human. I've been taking Super Beats Heart Chews for 9 months now, and I can feel it work immediately. You may have noticed the Human logo on the UT football field, and that's because Human was founded out of UT, and all UT teams use Super Beats products with clinically studied ingredients that are shown to provide nearly 2 times more effective blood pressure support than diet or just exercise alone. It's their cheat code, and it's mine too. You can go to livehuman.com and use the promo code MARK for 20% off of superior heart health performance with no crash. Go to livehuman.com with 2 N's, promo code MARK for 20% off your first order. Again, that's livehuman.com, 2 N's, promo code MARK.
Express Employment Professionals makes hiring really easy. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, being ghosted, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Move up to the pros with expresspros.com. With Express, you can lower contingent labor cost and reduce turnover. Every day, Express recruits and screens a variety of workers in your area. So when it is time to hire, they have the talent you need. You're ready to improve your hiring efficiency? Choose Express. Go to expresspros.com to find the location nearest you. That's expresspros.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing you don't.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, an air quality alert day for your Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 93. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 65. Wednesday, sunny skies, a high of 96.
This report is sponsored by the Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be a part of a legacy that never stops. Be there when history is made. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Fall is sports season, and iHeartRadio has it all. The NFL.
Touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
MLB playoffs.
It is gone.
College football, the NHL, and NBA preseason moves are underway. From scores and reactions to interviews and hot takes, it's all at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app.
Appreciate you taking my call, guys.
Lock in with your favorite teams with play-by-play, podcasts, and local stations where you can react and join the conversation. Sports on iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
You heard the beat drop, you know what that means. WWE Hall of Famer, the world's strongest man, D. Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
All right.
What's up?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest. I guess back then they didn't know me, but now they all on me. Guys, I'm going to come across as a whiner today. I'm not happy. I don't like it. And nobody's going to tell me something that's going to make it okay unless they change it. And when I say they, let me qualify it with the NFL. Monday Night Football. I am a traditionalist. Monday Night Football should be one game. You should look forward to it. I want to hear the Monday Night Party. I want to hear the song. I want the pomp and circumstance of it. I don't want two games. And I'm going to tell you why there is two games. Because Disney, of course, owns ESPN. And they have come up with this system where they wanted to maximize and get more numbers. It's the same way that the WWE was bought by God, I'm having that. TKO. And TKO said, we won't make more money. So they got rid of all of the house shows and live events, and they're focusing, and they doubled the prices of the tickets for television and PLEs. Well, the NFL is using that model. They want to maximize the dollars at the expense of what the fans look as entertaining and fun and stuff that you look forward to. Now, there's some guys that are like, you know what, man? Hey, 2 games on Monday, that's even better.
Yes.
And we know one.
Absolutely.
I don't agree. And it's my take, so I get to stand on it. I believe that it should go back to one game. And they're still trying to figure it out. They even said in a statement that they're trying to figure it out, that they don't know about the viewership and whether or not they should put the ABC game on first or play the ESPN game after or air them exactly the same time and let that, like the old college football model. Well, I think it should go away. Hardge, what say you?
Well, I couldn't wait for you to ask me my opinion on this one. I could not wait for this one. Did not even know this was where you were going today, but I'm glad I didn't, because I would have shot it down early. Let me explain something to you, Mr. Mark Henry. This is something that America does want. You know why? Because it is the most viewed sport in the world. This is where the revenue comes from. This is where people make their plans to watch Monday Night Football. Yes, you can have your one if you want to. Just focus on that one. People like myself, the bars, the restaurants, people want to be out watching football because football is the game that we can all go and watch and have a great time for the most part, unless your team is bad. Unless your team is bad, you don't want to watch your team. But when you got 2 Monday Night Football games, you get your family together, you sit around and you watch the game, you have dinner, you start talking about it. You still got fantasy football that has some bearing to it. So you're watching, is my team going to win tonight? And you have the wagers that are out there. So for me, Mark Henry, I love the fact that I get 2 Monday Night Football games because then we get to come in here and talk about both of them. So I strongly disagree with you with the object of being able to watch more than one football game. I'm sorry, bro.
It is okay, and that is your opinion,
exactly.
sir. But I guarantee you there are a lot of people that feel the same way that I do about the nostalgia of it. And the fact that as a kid watching Monday Night Football, you look forward to that game. Over all of the games that played on Sunday, everybody was like, oh, yeah, good Sunday football. We get to see the Cowboys, yeah, or whatever. But on Monday, you knew it was going to be something special. And they've taken away the element of it being special to me.
Coach Sark said you either adapt or you die dinosaurs. The dinosaur days are over.
Well, I believe, thank you, Coach Sark, for that information. But I believe that the good things, there's one thing that happens. Bad things, there's two things that happen. Monday Night Football, two games is a bad thing. If you get sick, you got two options. You get well or you die.
Oh, Mark Henry, you don't know who you messing with. You better watch your mouth talking about Disney.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do, Mickey? What are they going to do?
They're going to play it on ABC and they're going to play it on ESPN because they own them both.
You sitting here pocket watching.
Thanks, Mickey, for that commentary. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm all in on this, and I can't wait to October the 13th where you have Buffalo and Atlanta and Chicago and Washington.
Send us messages on the text line, guys. I need y'all. We might have to put a poll up.
Yeah,
let's
we can definitely put a poll up. Absolutely.
Because I really do think that I'm not in the minority on this.
You may not be, Mark, but
I've been wrong a lot this year, though.
We can go back and look at for your entertainment purpose.
For my
yeah, you get a chance.
I got the Henry curse.
Exactly.
Do not gamble.
He understands the rules, and I'm just telling you, last night was outstanding for us to have two games on, being able to watch both of those games and being able to come in. And to your point about the ABC and the NBC, I think the second game should be on ESPN. I think the second game should be on ESPN. I don't think the first one should be. I think if you're going to kick off at 6:15, but the problem is it messes up the local news. So you don't get your local news on that aspect of it. But they get to go and do the news early as opposed to doing it late. Jeff Jones and those guys are able to be in the studio on time and not having to wait for the game to finish.
Okay.
So there's that. That's
I didn't even factor that in, but I still just want one game.
Well, to get your point, they would just have it on ESPN. You wouldn't have to worry about it, right?
Wow.
Yeah. We'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. Major League Baseball playoffs. And, games will be on ABC and ESPN. Let's see which one has it out right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to Coach Sark's weekly press conference live every Monday at 11 a.m.
We got to go enjoy this journey. We need to be present and then ultimately finish the mission.
Hear Coach Sark recap the prior week's games and get you ready for the Horns' next opponent.
Culture beats talent. Culture is really strong. Culture and talent together is a pretty powerful force, and that's something that we've tried to create.
Every question, every answer, every Monday, right here on your home for the Longhorns. 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
About a 15-minute delay being caused by a crash on Highway 45 eastbound at Wright Road. Delays start from Turnersville Road. Looking onto 290 eastbound for a wreck at Shadow Glen Boulevard, and all lanes are closed off due to a wreck on the service road of I-35 northbound at William Cannon. Try using the main lanes here to avoid these slowdowns. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Make parking the easiest part of your night with ParkWiz. Reserve ahead and roll right in so you can enjoy the show, the game, or a night out without circling for parking. Save up to 50% off a secured space and skip the stress. Smarter parking starts here. Download the ParkWiz app today.
Hi, it's Dr. Joy Harden Bradford here. I'm proud to support iHeart Recovery Month and Mobilize Recovery to help elevate and normalize conversations we should all be having about addiction and mental health conditions. Whether you're struggling or have a family member or friend that just needs to know recovery is real, you can be the difference that inspires someone to start their recovery journey. Special FYI for college students, resources and real talk are happening this fall with the Campus Surge Tour. Learn more at iHeartRecoveryMonth.com.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
I'm here now with Colin Plume, CEO of Noble Gold Investments. Colin, tell the audience what you just told me about cash savings accounts.
I was explaining that parking too much cash in savings is a risky strategy. It's an old school portfolio management. Beyond the obvious banking risks, today's economic environment is destroying the dollar's value. Savers can't keep up with the three-headed monster of inflation, money printing, and rate cuts.
If cash is losing value, then what should people be moving into?
With the dollar under pressure, more Americans are shifting retirement savings into something real. Physical gold and silver. When the dollar falls, precious metals rise.
And Noble Gold makes that process easy?
Very easy. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com and chat with a specialist. The conversation is free and the peace of mind is priceless.
That's the golden minute. Don't let inflation steal your savings. Protect it today with Noble Gold Investments. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult your financial advisor before making investment decisions.
iHeart presents Ice Cube, Truth to Power Tour, taking the stage at Moody Center, October 16th.
Straight out of Compton, it's a crazy brother named Ice Cube.
Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
You know what your customers are doing right this second? The exact same thing you are, listening to me. Which, let's be honest, is kind of flattering. But my point is, ads on iHeartRadio actually get heard. In the car, at the gym, on the couch, while people are walking their dogs. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. That's right. You're a good boy. So why not make the next ad about you? This September, new advertisers get a special deal. So call now, 844-844-iHeart, or visit iHeartAdvertising.com.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Coach Sark here. 1300 The Zone is your flagship home for the Texas Longhorns.
Great show today. Thank you to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. And of course, we want to thank Mark Vandermeer, the voice of the Houston Texans. As you can hear all Houston Texans right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. So make sure you tune in this afternoon to the Craig Way Show with the voice of your Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, and Cam Parker, and Jake as well. Exciting time for this radio station. We have a lot going on. Also, make sure you make your plans. Tomorrow night, I will be at Kane and Abel's with Ann Hudson of 96.7 KISS FM, and we will be doing Wind Down Wednesdays, Ladies Clinic. That's right, Kane and Abel from 5 to 7. And if you get an opportunity to come out and you don't have a wristband for ACL, well, we've got some wristbands. So if you come out there and you answer some questions, you might be able to get some ACL wristbands for this weekend. Also on Thursday, we will be at Twin Peaks Stassany location. Myself, Mark Henry, Craig Way, and Cam Parker. We will be doing an SEC roundtable from 2 to 6 at the Stassany Twin Peaks, right there off of I-35. And last but not least, for the game day, we will be at third base. It's a busy week for the folks over here at AM 1300 The Zone. We'll be at third base in Round Rock, right up there off of Lewis Henna. And what we'll be doing is the pregame show with myself, Mark Henry, and Cam Parker as we do Longhorns game day. And then stick around, Bud Light will have drink specials. And, of course, Dolce Vita will be doing a watch party as well. So we'll be busy this week. So come and hang out with us. And yes, Mark, they have wings, man.
Well, I was going to ask, do they have wings? But also,
we know.
Will they have that that bar, the brunch bar? Remember last time we were
third base.
Okay,
third base. Get your bases right. Third base. Speaking of bases, Major League Baseball will start its wild card playoffs start today, starting at 12:08 as the Tigers, who had the worst collapse in Major League Baseball, will be taking on the Guardians, who caught them. Instead of being in Detroit, now they got to be in Cleveland. That game will be on ESPN. Great pitchers duel. Skubal, 13-6, 2.21 ERA. Against Williams, 12-5 with a 3.06 ERA, followed by the Padres and the Cubs in Chicago. They got fall baseball in Wrigley. That game will be at 2:00. That game will be on ABC. Then tonight at 5:00, you've got the Red Sox at the Yankees. This is what it's all about. These are the teams that people really want to see in the history of baseball. These are the ones that have always battled that. Crochet, 18-5, 2.59 ERA versus Max Fried, 19-5, 2.86 ERA. And then the nightcap, the LA Dodgers will be hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Hunter Green going back to LA and pitching against the Dodgers against Blake Snell, who had a 2.35 ERA. Hunter Green had a 2.76 ERA. This is what supposed to be the hunt for October, but this is what Major League Baseball is all about when you get these types of teams, the Cubbies being back in the playoffs, the Guardians and the Tigers and the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers and the Reds. It's like old school baseball getting a chance to play it in the New
York way. Versus Boston, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm excited about that series for sure. When you think about all the all-stars that the Yankees have, the numbers that have been put up, Giancarlo Stanton getting hot, being healthy. You still have Aaron Judge, who I went back and looked at the numbers again yesterday because I was just like astounded by what I was seeing when you look at his numbers. He's the best player in baseball, but with him and Shohei Ohtani. I've stopped fighting for Kyle Schwarber. I stopped fighting for him because Shohei Ohtani, when you look at his numbers and what Shohei has been able to do with the numbers that he put up, 55 home runs and still pitched 47 innings and had over 55 strikeouts. I mean, there's nothing he can't do. And they're talking about bringing him out of the bullpen in some of these games, which I thought he should have done from the very beginning once he got back. So it'll be interesting to see how they use
So
him throughout
you're
the
off the Kyle Riley bandwagon. Like you're completely done with the fact that this is a guy that did 3 things that's never been done. And it's one season, Hardge. I'm not saying that you gotta not give Judge his props over his longevity and maybe next year. But this year, man, this guy's Kyle is
Yeah, it's a great story. I love the fact of what he was able to do. But when you look at what what Aaron Judge was able to do as well, the numbers are absolutely ridiculous.
And I know the numbers would have been even more inflated if he didn't miss 20 games. And not to mention, how many times did he get walked? Like 36 or 37?
Yeah, but that to me is like, because we talked about it yesterday off air. Barry Bonds in one season got walked 125 times intentionally.
Yeah.
Hey, Hardge, quick question. How would that work if Ohtani's coming in relief with him batting? Would they have to sub him out?
No. Because he's the DH. He's the DH.
That's the other question, because usually when a pitcher, when a DH is replaced, they have to. I mean, they have to use a pitcher.
When the pitcher is replaced, they have to most of the time if the DH has to go into the game, but he's registered as the DH the entire time.
Okay, so he would be able to sub out as a pitcher after being used.
Correct. From what the rules, the way that the rules read, yes.
They'll change it now.
Exactly.
They'll change it just because they want to make it unfair. They want to make it different.
The one thing that we talked about before you walked in, Mark, was Aaron Judge, his numbers obviously is what it is, but Cal Riley finished the season with no pass the balls as a catcher. None. Unbelievable. It was outstanding. I couldn't believe it. I don't even know if anybody's ever done that in the history of the game, but there was 2
like
people.
The whole season.
No pass balls were accredited to him. So that's outstanding stuff. Again, I want to thank Joe Cook of Inside Texas. I want to thank Mark Vandermeer, the voice of the Houston Texans. And, of course, I want to thank you, the people. Tomorrow we'll have Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman.
Yeah.
There's a big commitment that is happening today. Bo Ogden, basketball player, heavy recruited by the University of Texas, will make his announcement today at 1 o'clock. We'll have more information about that. A lot of people think he might be a Longhorn. We shall see. For Mark Henry, for Marcus Spears, I'm Mike Hardball Hardge. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
FX presents The Lowdown.
What I've uncovered is insane.
Star
You are tampering with forces you can't understand. You are tampering with forces you can't understand. We have major corporations sponsoring this event.
Not to mention all those corporate sponsors, event promoters.
You are tampering with forces you can't understand. We have major corporations sponsoring this event. You are tampering with forces you can't understand. We have major corporations sponsoring this event.